Krista started doing a running journey. And because being healthy and being active is a big part of what Kayla and I are really into and want to support, but also because it's hard to do when you have a life and kids in your case and a job and a spouse and just other things going on. I think it's always worthwhile hearing from other people how they got started and how they make that part of their life and the positive effects. So basically, we're just calling this like Motivation Monday with Krista, except it's releasing on a Tuesday.
Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself and all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you?
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kaylee here. I'm here solo. Kind of freaking me out. I am just introducing our very special guest. This is only the second interview that we've ever done. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a little bit nervous, but Krista is somebody that I know through work. We've become friends. And just to give you a little bit of background on the interview and what we will be talking about today, Krista has recently started a running journey, and we've just talked about it personally, after work hours, things like that. And I just thought it was really cool and inspiring for her to set a goal and come up with ways to keep it interesting and stick with it, and do something hard and do something different, and just the positive outcomes that have come already for her out of all of that. So it seemed like the perfect opportunity just to take some time, sit down, chat, and share it with you all. So stay tuned and get ready because we're about to hear from Krista. Welcome, everyone. This is Krista. If you're confused, if you're watching, this is obviously not a blonde woman with short hair. We have a special treat of an interview today. So, Krista, thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, but I'm going to quick buzz you an intro, but I want to tell the people. We work together currently, but fun anecdote from the past, I used to work with Krista's mom in my old job, and her mom was our HR person. So when I came over to this program in my current role and we started being coworkers, I already kind of knew who she was in the background, and then freaked her out really bad one day when I knew personal details about where she grew up and what her mom's name was.
Totally forgot. It's fine.
So, yeah, basically, I did a normal thing that I do and creeped someone out. But
It worked.
we're excited to have you.
It worked because now we're friends.
Yeah, it worked. We bonded. Krista gave me some book recommendations, and then I went down a whole rabbit hole on weird nerd fantasy books that I would never have known about otherwise. So tell us just a wee bit about you.
Okay.
And then I'll badger you with questions.
So, my name is Krista. I am a mom of 2. I got started a little bit late in life. I'm 37, so I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they keep me busy. And then I also have 2 cats. So I am a cat mom. One just walked up to me. He's wanting attention. Oh yeah. I am a federal employee. I love what I do pretty much. It has its days, but yeah, just trying to, really figure out myself and making time for myself because it's not something that I did before.
Yay. And I'm sure it's still not easy with a 2 and a 4-year-old.
No, they, and now like my kid is the older one. She is in activity. So like last year we got our first glimpse of that and she was in cheer. It's a lot. It's a lot. I did not realize. And then I've been conned into being a cheer mom this next time. So, I know I am, what do they call it? An omnivert. I am an introverted extrovert. Like, I people all day long in my job. So whenever it comes time to like people outside, I'm not, it takes, but I know you know.
Yeah. I think Kayla and you probably have a lot of that in common because obviously she's customer facing all day at work, and she definitely would describe herself unapologetically as an introvert and needing that time to recharge and smaller group settings and all of that stuff. And then I feel so empathetic for all of you who are blasting yourselves with people all the time because I can't imagine how draining it is because I'm drained and I am probably the extrovert's extrovert. So I can't imagine.
I just want to sit in a closet sometimes, like sit in the closet, make it be quiet, and don't touch me. I don't want to be touched for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes,
The general public will do it to you. So This brings me to my first question. Growing up, was activity and sports and those kinds of things, was that part of your childhood growing up? Or were you more of a like farts and crafts kid, or what did that look like?
A little bit of both. I think we started off trying the sport. I'm just not a sporty gal. I don't have the coordination for it, to be quite frank. I was in T-ball, so I remember that pretty distinctively. But I did that for, yeah, like whenever you're a little tiny kid. I don't know. I was probably like 6 or 7, I guess, and I did T-ball. And I only remember doing it one time, and I see pictures of me every now and again. I'm like, oh. And but yeah, so no, like I was really into music, and so I started playing instruments at a really young age. Like, we did I don't know if you guys ever did it, like in elementary school in the music class, we did like a xylophone and a section, or the marimbas and all of that. Yeah, it was super cool. So we would do that. And so I think I started doing that in like the third or fourth grade. And then I got my first like real instrument. I got a clarinet in the fourth grade and started taking lessons. And so I was a music kid. And then in high school, we did like marching band and stuff. So we had the activity part of that because, people don't realize it, but marching band is intense.
I wish Kayla was here so badly. Number one, Kayla was a clarinet
Me
band
too.
nerd. Number two, I played clarinet in elementary school, but I went to a Christian school, so we didn't have the marching thing, and then I gave it up before I went to public.
Mhm.
But that is so funny, and she would 1000% attest to the marching being strenuous. And I, as a side note, do not know how the drummers and tuba players did it.
Like tubas are freaking heavy out. But yeah, I mean, we're out there during the summer, during the hot days in the fall. I mean, we'd have to run laps if we did things that we weren't supposed to do. And so it just,
It's so funny.
yeah. I mean, band tans were like a real thing. We had the sock line tan, because we're all millennials. It was down at the ankle, So yeah, no, it was intense, and you had to stay active or you would die at football games because like you're in that polyester uniform with nowhere, no way to breathe. Some kids, like if you locked your knees, they'd pass out. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, you had it much harder than we did because I am quite certain that the majority of football games, Kayla was probably having to wear long underwear. I don't know it for a fact of nature, but
Y'all were where were y'all? Oh, no, y'all
we
were
were in
up north.
Wisconsin.
Yes. Yes. See, Florida.
Yeah, it was cold,
Yeah.
cold.
And I've lived in Florida my entire life. So hot all the time. Hot in the summer, hot in the fall. We get like a small winter and spring. So I think we're in our false spring right now, or false winter, whatever the heck you want to call it.
Yeah,
So,
the weird reversion after everyone gets excited and plants all their plants, and then it gets cold again and all their plants die.
but no, so I did that in like yearbook. So really, because of those things, I didn't have much time for anything else. It took up a lot of time. And so no, the coordination, I say coordination, but like it takes a lot of coordination to do what we did in marching band too. But I just was never a sports girly. I was always, music and yearbook and nerdy stuff.
Like that. What am I saying? When did your current journey start, and had you tried or dipped your toe into the world of running or wellness or any of those types of things in other spurts of life?
Before I had kids, did CrossFit for a long time. Like I think I ended up doing it for like a year and a half. I really enjoyed it. Plenty of bloodshed with that. 'Cause it's not it, I still have a little bit of calluses on my hands from, doing pull-ups, which not totally successful, lifting weights and all that kind of stuff. So I did CrossFit. I did one, we had a CrossFit, they do the competitions or whatever where they have like different things each week. And so we did that at our gym one time. And then I moved away and didn't do CrossFit again. And, I've tried here and there to like find different things. And then, of course, in 2020, our lives all got turned upside down. So, but yeah, so I'm just now getting into it. I've done 5Ks like periodically, like here and there, but I was never like training. I'd walk a 5K or whatever. So actually running and, putting the effort that I'm putting into now, this is a brand new thing for me.
That's cool. I was never a runner either. So when I also started trying to do them, it was, well, at least for me, it was a real demon show. So talk to me a little bit about having kids and that whole, like where you did a lot, obviously a lot changes when you have kids, but was that a hard transition for you physically? And then coming out of that, was it, I mean, did you have any successes trying to work out or balancing even just taking care of yourself versus taking care of kids? Because Kayla's in the thick of it now with a sub 2-year-old. So what did that look like, if you don't mind sharing?
You were basically surviving, I feel like, in the beginning. But as far as, like I didn't have good pregnancies with either of my kids. The first one I ended up having, preeclampsia, which did not go well. That was with my oldest one. And then I ended up having gestational hypertension with my second. And so, I tried to walk and do that type of thing, but I wasn't doing like any major strenuous stuff because I had to be really careful about everything, and I had a lot of back pain too with both of my kids. So that made things difficult as well. So, as far as like doing things, after, it's hard. It's so hard to juggle because, I work full time and, trying to find that balance. I don't even know if I've fully found that balance. I don't know if I'm ever going to find that balance. And so I'm just kind of doing the best I can. Like I have been trying to fit in runs during lunchtime and all of that. I know, with some different changes that are going to be happening in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have to adjust that and figure something out. But, I'm not a morning person. So the idea of running in the morning, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I don't know. I'll figure it out and I'm going to have to because, this is, I think, the most serious I've ever been really ever about this type of activity. One, I've kind of put some money into it. So that makes a difference too, I think, as far as motivation. And then it helps that, my sister-in-law also runs. So I have her, to help encourage. And one of my other good friends also runs. So like I was messaging you, I did a 5K this last Saturday. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't like a, public 5K or whatever. Like I just went down to the trail.
Organized
Yeah,
or
it wasn't.
race or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't an organized or a race. So I just went out there. And so my friend was like sending me text messages throughout because I sent her like a live track on my Garmin and she could see. And she's like, you got this, you got this. And I probably looked ridiculous going down the trail too because I was like talking to myself, and be like, you got this. You can do this. Only half a mile left. Only half a mile left. Pepping myself up as I go along.
Yeah, dude.
So I might have like circled all around your question, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I feel like because of their ages, how much attention they really need right now, what I do for work, my schedule with that, like it really is, I have to make a conscious effort and try to plan it out as best as I can. Whether or not those plans are going to go through, it is what it is, but I'm just going to try, all I can do is try.
How did you start? Was there a singular event that kind of pushed you? I want to set a goal and do something. Was there a series of events? Was it your sister-in-law nagging you? How did we get here?
So she did a princess half marathon, not this past year, but the year before. And so I got to see her do all that, and I'm watching, and you know how TikTok is creepy and it, does your algorithm. So then I start seeing everybody, that's at the Disney races getting major FOMO. And I'm like, this looks like so much fun. And that was last year. Didn't do anything about it. Well, this past year, she didn't do the half, but she did the 5K, one of the Princess 5Ks with my nieces. And they wanted me to sign up. I don't even remember. I think there was like something going on with work or I don't even know. I couldn't do it. And then after, again, TikTok, I'm seeing all the things going on. And I'm like, I send my sister-in-law a message afterwards and I'm like, we're doing this next year. And it's not, we're just doing like a 5K. I was like, we're doing the whole thing. We're doing the 5K, the 10K, and the half marathon, and it's like a consecutive each day you do it. So, I'm just out of my mind, I suppose. I go from like, I'm not really running or doing anything major to, yeah, I'm doing the whole freaking princess weekend. Let's just do it.
So build out, because I didn't know. You told me when you first told me that you were doing a Princess 5K, I had no idea. I was like, does everybody wear a crown? So we're at Disney World and you just said it's a consecutive 5K, 10 and then half marathon.
Like one day, I think it's like a Friday is like the 5K, Saturday is the 10, and then Sunday is the half. And like each morning, you have to
Okay.
get up at the butt crack of dawn. It's like 2 something in the morning. You have to get up and you got to be over there at a certain time. And I think the races start at like 5 or 6 o'clock. I know. I'm out of my mind. Yeah.
What time of the year is this?
This is in February. So at least it's not going to be hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, why are we doing this so early? Is it just before the parks open? Is that
They
why?
do it all before the parks open. Mm-hmm.
Do you run through the park?
Yes. It's so, you need to look it up on
Oh, that's
TikTok.
so
It's so cool.
cute.
So like the bigger ones, you'll run, I think some of them they have them run through like Disney Springs. I know all of them run through Epcot. I think they all end in Epcot. The 10K, I think the 10K and the half marathon, you end up running through Cinderella's castle. And I know I'm just gonna
Oh,
bawl
that's
like a
so
baby.
funny.
Like it just, yeah. So they all, you get to run through the parks and they have Disney characters out there that if you're like a fast runner and you have plenty of time, you can stop and like do character interactions. And then they have DJs and it's like a whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
So, okay. This is so cute. Okay. Okay. Do people dress up? Do people like dress up and get shirts? And what do you have plans for all of that?
Yeah, it's more than just shirts. Like people will dress up in full on costumes. And so like so Disney has like different types of races throughout the year. So like just this past weekend, I think was the springtime surprise. And so they did like some of the ones, I think one day was like Hercules themed, one day was like Hero Max, and I think another day, I don't remember. But yeah, and then a lot of times the characters that are out there are based off like the theme, and whoever is that day. So like people will dress up like, in the Hercules day, there was all kinds of people dressed up as characters from the Hercules movie. And then, or they'll do whatever they want, but some will do full on costumes. Some will just do like themed, you know, um, sports sets, like a sports bra and, shorts or whatever. There's actually like a company out there that makes sets that are Disney themed. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. It is a whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
So people
Okay.
love it.
So we have a big goal as the carrot,
Mhm.
and that's in December. So we've got, and you've
Well,
been,
no,
when did you start
that's in
train?
so the big
Oh,
goal,
February.
yeah, is February, and the sign up is going to be in June. So we'll have to, yeah,
Okay.
because you have to there's limited spots and you have to go in and sign up and all the things. So hopefully my goal is I definitely want to get the half. And if well, there's a challenge. It's the half and the 10K together. My goal is to get that. And if I get the 5K, that's great. If I don't get the 5K, that's fine. But I definitely want to do the half and the 10K. So hopefully I get it. Hopefully I get it. That's my goal. That's my
Otherwise,
big goal. But I did sign up for another
Otherwise, you're
half
just gonna have to
marathon in
run around the
December.
parking lot. Just live stream yourself running around an alternate. Do an alternate Princess 5K if they don't let you in.
There's some people that sign up through a charity. And so like you can, if they're not able to purchase a spot, you can sign up and raise money for a charity. I don't know how much money you have to raise, but yeah, a lot of people do that if they can't buy it, like if they run out of spaces. So there's like other ways you can do it. I don't know if I'd do that, um, but yeah, so hopefully.
Somebody needs to start a We Didn't Get In run
Yeah.
in Kissimmee, like nearby. It's just called, I don't know, the overflow.
Like those, like the characters they have in Times Square that are like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, but they don't look like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Or
You
like
could
the
just,
princesses from those party planning places.
dude, or even how does Universal not do something corresponding to that?
No, I think it would be
As a
smart.
competitor.
Yeah, and like they just
I
opened
would
up
totally do a Harry Potter run.
They just opened like a Epic Universe down there. They've been doing screenings of it this past weekend. Like, I mean, there's so much potential. So, I mean, Disney doesn't have the market on it, but it could. But yeah, Harry Potter run would be so much fun.
And then you could have Snape in the back chasing it, or not Snape, Voldemort in the
Or
back chasing everybody.
Death Eaters chasing you.
Yes. Do you know how fun that would be for, the people that are at the back of the line that bring up the rear? Oh, that's for sure what I would do.
That brings to,
Oh,
I
that would.
always said, if you see me running, it's because something is chasing me.
No, for all those people that say that, you could really set it up for them.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll have to table that for our $1 million idea. Okay, so we find the goal, we set the goal, and then it's you and your sister-in-law, which that makes it so much more fun. And you're more active on TikTok than I am, but I think you were saying when we talked about this earlier, there's a whole slow runner TikTok world.
Yeah. So, so I originally had a TikTok that I didn't post anything. It was basically so I could watch videos and stuff like that. But since I've started running and then, being in I see a lot of the Disney running stuff. I've also started seeing people who consider themselves slow runners. Now, there are like categories of them. There's people that out there that I've seen, they say, "Oh, I'm a slow runner," and it's like 11 minutes per mile or whatever. I'm like, that's not slow to me. 11 minutes is not slow.
Bro,
I know. So
fuck off, slow.
I know. So like, for me, I started off real slow. But yeah, there's other people that, they run 14, 15, 16, 17-minute miles and stuff like that. So yeah, there's running clubs. Like there's one I found, this one girl, she has a slow running club or whatever in Atlanta. And so people will travel to like go and run with her. And so yeah, I mean, it's encouraging though to see, because like you see all these people that are like ultra marathon runners or whatever and run like I don't know, a 6-minute mile or something like that. I'm like, yeah, no, I one, no desire to ever run a 6-minute mile. And two, physically, I would not be able to run a 6 minute.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah,
it's nice like being able to see people that, are kind of like on the same athletic scale. You know what I mean? Because it's
yeah.
intimidating. I think that's one of the hardest parts of doing this is you see all the people that overachieve and you're like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And so you're more likely to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely empathize with that. I've always liked being in the gym, but I did not grow up running kind of a similar vibe. Also, my body just not, I would argue that those who are more built for weightlifting tend to not transition well into running.
Well, it's a
But
different type of athleticism. Like, it's a conditioning thing. Like, I know somebody who does CrossFit and she's like, I hate running. She's like, when we have running, I do not want to, she's like, "Ugh," I don't want to do it. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of thing. I mean, it's a stamina thing and it's something I'm still trying to learn.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, it's completely different types of workouts.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I got to a point I had a weird I don't know if it was just my anxiety flaring up, but when the first time I had COVID, I felt like my lungs just got really tight and I didn't like it. And I remember thinking to myself, girl, we gotta do some cardio because mama ain't doing this shit again. So that was when I kind of started I just did the stupid Bobo Couch to 5K app because
Mhm.
I never set out to do anything like you're doing with a big half marathon or anything of that sort. But I just figured if I couldn't get up and run a couple of miles in the morning and be able to do a 5K without keeling over, that feels like a good level of physical fitness for me. And I'm
Mhm.
cardiovascular and I'm fine with that. But my husband's a runner. And that's always been how he manages his mental health and how he managed when he was a kid having asthma.
Mhm.
So he just to make sure he has strong lungs. And whenever he feels like he's getting sick, he'll try to do that and clear stuff out. But anyway, that bitch will just get up and go run 12 miles. I was just going to do that. I just going to do this today.
That's part
So
of like
that has always
training
been my,
plans. I'm not going to get up on a Saturday
yeah.
morning and say, I'm going to run 12 today.
No, this motherfucker I'm going to go for a run. And then hours later, he'll come back and then he'll say, I think I might have gone too far, but I was having fun. Like, I don't even understand
Here's the thing,
what
like, I can
planet.
see that, like, once you get into it, like, whenever I run, it is the only time my brain shuts off. Like, I literally don't
Yeah.
think about anything else. I'm listening to music, but I'm not thinking about the problems I have at home or thinking about the problems I have at work. I'm literally getting myself mile to mile or half mile to mile, like, and it's a
Hmm.
constant. That was the thing I wasn't prepared for. Like, I know that it's great for your mental health to run, But then there's the aspect of it, you are fighting against yourself. And, it's so easy to get caught up in the negative self-talk too. Like the first few times that I was running, I was like, you're fucking stupid, dude. Like, what are you thinking? How do you think you can run a half marathon? How? So like that sort of thing. But like that has started to kind of wean a little bit. But no, I mean, it's a constant, and it won't be the last time. I mean, there's going to be days where like you have a really great run, and there's going to be days you're like, what the heck? You thought you did well, and then you look, that's the other thing I wasn't prepared for, all the stats, but like you look and see and you're like, crap, that was awful, and so it's easy to like really down yourself. But yes, I mean, there's great mental health aspects to it, but then you have to really like balance the negative stuff that can happen too. So
I can see that for sure. And my husband's also ADHD, so I think those folks need the movement. Because he'll talk about that. He'll get aggravated. I don't think I'm oversharing about him, but he'll get aggravated about something or need to process something or have a frustrating day, and he will go for a run to deal with it because similar to what you said, just sort of cuts down the background noise and it's just physically doing something. And I've even noticed for he and I, because I'll ride my bike with him because I can't keep up with his pace. He would call he wouldn't call me running 11-minute miles slow because he's nice and supportive, but he would call an 11-minute mile for himself slow as hell, if that makes sense. I mean, he's very, I don't know. I could never keep up with his pace. One time we both started a run together and I was like, it lasted 2 blocks. But anyway, I'll ride the bike with him sometimes next to him and just carry the water and be a mule. But it's so much easier for us to talk and have conversation if he's physically engaged in it and an activity. I think it's easier for his thoughts to come out. I think it just sort of narrows the focus a little bit and kind of hones things in if he's already physically in motion. I don't know if he knows this, but I low key will do that. I'll be intentional about us even taking a walk. Like if we just want to try to talk something out or if we're brainstorming stuff, it's way easier for us to do that in motion. Me too, but I can tell it definitely helps him. And the intensity is less because you're not like staring
because you're
at
like
each other.
You're side by side or kind of behind or whatever. And he's probably at the stamina level where he's able to hold a conversation. Me, I'm not holding a conversation while I'm running. But I mean, it does. But just in general, the thought processes, because like, you don't have 10,000 tabs open. Your thoughts aren't racing, so I can see that where it's a lot easier to like concentrate and focus on one thing versus like, we're sitting here and I'm having to be conscious about not going down rabbit holes because I'm really bad about rabbit holes. You know that about me. So, it's a constant mental battle for sure.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was part 1 in Krista's running journey. So stay tuned for next week, and we will finish up the rest of this interview for you guys. If you or somebody that you know has recently started something new or set a goal or started working towards something different or is just trying to better their life in some way and you want to share, feel free to reach out. We have all the information in the show notes, email, phone number, voicemail, leave a comment, share, review. Anyway, but we would love to do more of these types of things because obviously as much as Kayla and I love getting together and chatting every week, it's really fun to have listener feedback and to get different points of view. So as soon as you guys feel like sharing or crazy, as long as you're not crazy, we'd love to have you on sometime and talk about everything. So keep us posted, let us know, and feel free to reach out. And don't worry, Kayla's not gone permanently. She'll be back. I'm just giving her a little bit of a break because she's a busy mom. She does important stuff, okay, guys? But until next week, we love you. Bye.